Hey everyone, my name is Nick, and today I want to tell you about Tesla warranty as well as car insurance as it relates to changing your wheel size. Now, if you've seen any of my past videos, you'll know that my Model Y Performance has 18-inch rims, and I've been able to get better range and better performance with these 18-inch wheels. Some of the people in my comments section have urged me against this, saying that this could go against Tesla warranty and that I need to file a claim with my insurance, that I've modified my car. And I want to tell you today what are some things you do and don't have to worry about. After researching this topic, I can tell you that most likely this is not going to be a concern if you decide to change your wheel size, maybe from a 21-inch Uber turbine on your Model Y Performance down to something like an 18-inch wheel. And I'm going to break down all the reasons why. The first thing I want to talk about is, can modifying your wheels affect your insurance premium? And the answer to this is probably not. And I want to use this website here, this article, Jardine Motors Groups, and it tells you the do's and don'ts about car modifications and how that can affect your car insurance premium. And you can see here that the most egregious change is doing something like turbo or supercharging your vehicle, or changing the transmission, or doing some kind of body kit that's going to modify your car. And as you go along down to the bottom, there's actually some things that could lower your insurance premium, like parking sensors or tow bars. The only thing that actually comes up here that would affect a wheel change is the alloy wheels down at the very bottom of this list that has a very marginal impact on your premium. But this doesn't exactly apply to our situation because here, according to what they claim for what an alloy wheel is, standard alloy wheels don't impact insurance, but upgrading them based on different paint color, your premiums could rise, and this is because a better alloy may increase your likelihood of theft. And so the important thing to look at here is that not all car modifications are treated equally, and there's kind of a breakdown of how an insurance company is going to look at something like a car modification based on, is it going to raise the theft of the car by having these modifications make it more attractive to thieves? Will it raise the risk of an accident occurring? And will the modification raise the value of the car by being expensive to repair or replace? Now, when it comes to insurance companies insuring a Tesla, odds are they're going to have a lot of categories summarized under your premium that's going to fit what they deem to be applicable for a Tesla. Well, this wheel is not any more flashy than the original wheels for the Model Y Performance, so its increased likelihood of theft is not applicable here, and this is most likely going to be negligible for car insurance companies when you tell them that you just changed the wheel to a smaller size. Number two, will it increase the risk of the car having an accident due to a power increase? Well, any additional boost of performance in terms of acceleration is negligible. A lighter wheel is actually going to stop a little bit better. Anything in this regard is going to be very, very negligible and going to be actually quite hard to even test if this is true. So this is kind of out of the feature as well. And will the modification raise the value of the car by being too expensive or difficult to replace? This wheel is not going to be any more expensive than the stock 21-inch Uber turbine wheels. So to change your wheel doesn't really fit into the criteria of what an insurance company is going to think is going to be more of a liability in terms of theft, in terms of safety, or in terms of differentiating the cost of the car altogether. So let's look over here to the exclusions and limitations found on the Tesla warranty page. First of all, Tesla warranty covers its bases for a lot of things, and they really cover their back, and I think this goes for just about any other kind of warranty. I mean, like, if you sneeze in the wrong direction, you could void your warranty. I mean that literally, because some things that apply to this are even noises and vibrations. Sometimes they won't cover that. As well, they even include in here the environment or an act of God is not covered under insurance. I think this one's pretty funny. But things like, fires or earthquakes, lightning, hail, flood, that's not covered under warranty apparently. And now here we want to look at this part here where a wheel modification would maybe apply to the Tesla warranty being out of its spec. And you can see here that it's on page 10 on the new vehicle warranty. Exclusions and limitations, it says right here, non-genuine Tesla parts or accessories or their installation or any damage directly or indirectly caused by, due to, or resulting from the installation or use of a non-genuine Tesla part or accessory. Now, the only situation where I can ever think that you go into the Tesla repair store, or maybe you're at the tail end of your warranty and your suspension's not as good as it could be, and you go in and you try to claim for this to be covered under warranty. This is the only time I can think of them saying, hey, this is not a 21-inch Uber turbine wheel from your Model Y Performance. This is an 18-inch rim. We're not going to honor your warranty. And I have a big problem with this because I did a lot of research on the physics and the engineering behind smaller wheels, and it's actually going to be better for your suspension than a heavier wheel, and I'm going to explain why. And so I'm not claiming I'm some kind of genius and knew all about the physics of this, but I just had a feeling, well, I knew it was going to help increase range because it's lighter. I knew it was going to help with comfort because now I can fit more tire and have a bigger sidewall, but I didn't know its effects on suspension, and I really was scratching my head trying to figure out, well, is this lighter wheel going to be better for suspension? And found this beautiful article by Europarts, and it explains exactly the physics behind this. And so the whole concept behind this is there's something called sprung and unsprung mass. And sprung mass is everything that your suspension carries. And so this includes the body of the car. For a Tesla, it would include the batteries, and it includes all the occupants inside the vehicle. Unsprung mass is everything not supported by suspension, and this includes your wheels, your tires, your brake caliper weight, your lug nut weight, everything that is under the suspension. This is called unsprung mass. You can do your research, and it's pretty much unanimous that it's better to have less unsprung mass than more unsprung mass, and the benefits are in almost every category so much better. So a lighter wheel is significantly better, and in terms of how it would affect suspension, when a heavy wheel goes over a bump in the road or something like a pothole, all that energy of the heavy wheel is being surged upwards towards the wheel well, and the shocks have to compensate for the entire mass of the wheel and stabilize your car to help it return back to the ground as fast as possible. On the contrary, with a light wheel, your suspension has to work a lot less hard to counteract the mass of that lighter wheel back to the ground as it surges up from the bump or the pothole, and your suspension presses back down to stabilize the car so it has traction on the ground. And in that, lighter wheels are actually faster at reestablishing their grip because the suspension doesn't have to work as hard to counteract that force. Now, that's one aspect. Another aspect is that with a smaller rim, we're able to have more tire, and that more room for tire means that we can do things like increase the sidewall. The tires that I'm running have an aspect ratio of 50, but the performance aspect ratio is 35. And what that does for the benefit of the performance, that means that the tire is slimmer, it's stretched out more because the wheel is wider, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you superior cornering ability. With my setup here with the 18-inch rims and the bigger sidewall, that's going to allow actually more room for cushion. So when you go over something like a pothole or you go over a bump in the road, your tires are also helping stabilize the impact, and in combination with your lighter wheel, this is all in return more easy for your suspension to counteract bumps and things like that in the road. In addition, I have to mention this because you guys are so clever in the comment section. What about the offset? Well, the offset is basically how far the rim is going to stick out. A higher offset means that you are moving away from the center. So something like a 40 offset or a 48 offset, which happens to be the front and the rear offset respectively for the Model Y Performance rims. Those stick out quite a bit. This is why you have problems with curb rash on the Uber turbine wheels. The setup that I'm running has 35 offset, which is going to sit closer to the center, which means you have more weight towards the center of the wheel. It's going to be less stress for your suspension as well, including the ball joints. Just imagine trying to hold something up from far away versus something closer to the source. Leverage. So in every aspect that I can think of, Going with an 18-inch wheel is going to be beneficial for your suspension and all the other components with it. If you ever run into some issue where you have an issue with suspension and a Tesla service technician says that the warranty's been voided because you don't have the bigger wheel on there, well, I don't think he knows what he's talking about, because in every situation, when it comes to how the physics of unsprung mass works, this is in favor to have an 18-inch wheel setup. So to kind of conclude, having an 18-inch wheel is most likely not going to affect your warranty. It's most likely not going to raise insurance premiums due to the fact that it's simply negligible, honestly, for both aspects. And it's not going to cause any kind of wear on your car any more than the stock wheels are going to. In fact, theoretically, it should even help prolong the wear and tear of the car naturally. And so I wanted this to be kind of a thought point that you should think about, but also not stress about. Something I'm not stressing about, and I still am totally behind my decision because I love my extra range, I love the extra comfort. Going with an 18-inch wheel, when I need to get my tires replaced, it's going to be significantly easier and probably cheaper to find a replacement tire for 18-inch wheels rather than a 21-inch wheel. Just all along, I cannot say how awesome it is, and I still highly recommend that you get it as well. These topics I talked about here should not be a concern. I really don't think it should be a concern, but I just wanted to share that with you today. So, hope you found this video helpful, and check out my other videos that talk about the increase of range that I got with these new 18-inch rims. Check out my other camping videos, and hopefully inspire you to do some of the same. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and thank you.